Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pinball Storytellers, a Halloween special. I'm joined today by my beautiful guest Justin, who is dressed as the Hat Man without a hat.
Technically, I'm the Mad Hatter, but I broke my hat and it's being repaired. I didn't have time to finish repairing it for the
I'm
before
the
the stream.
man with a crossbow bowl between his head and a lot of white makeup on his face, and there's a scar over on here. That's my costume right now. I've decorated overway, so hope you guys enjoy the decorations, though. Our Halloween decorations. And well, let's get into it. So Justin, have a couple of stories prepared for you. Couple of neat stories prepared for you, and the spirit of our dear holiday. Do you call it a holiday or a fest in your place?
It's a holiday more than anything.
So yeah, prepare for this holiday, and we're gonna be playing through them and see how it goes. So first in line, do you want to know the name of the story and what happens beforehand, or do you want to save that for last? Because the particular genre we're working with right now, being horror, I think knowing the story beforehand is gonna affect the whole overall thing.
Um, no, let's leave it a mystery. Let's see if chat can figure it out. Actually,
Well,
that'll give chat
uh,
something fun to do.
good.
They can speculate.
The story is not the same one you'll be finding, so I've changed a couple of stuff to just make it a bit harder for you guys to figure it out. And we'll see how it goes. So, Justin, you are going to be playing the role of a mirror. Can you roll us your stats? It's
I
gonna be
can.
36 down the line and assign one stat.
Wow,
Ooh, well, you're a mirror. You're not something special. You're not somebody.
I'm an ugly, stupid person. That's what I am.
Exactly. What do you wanna assign? Do you wanna assign anything or just leave it as it is?
No, I think I'm gonna leave it as it is because I'm pretty sure strength and con would be his highest stats. Milling's actually a really rough job. Building a mill involves a ton of strength. So, oh, she looks pretty good.
Okay. So you live in a small hut with your daughter and your wife at the edge of a
I'm
small stream.
I'm married. That seems very
You
unlikely.
you you are married and you do have a daughter, 16 years of age.
That's a bad age. Okay.
You live in a village, a pretty small village, not that big, maybe 200, 300 people around. The village has this stream that passes your house, and beyond the stream there's a dark forest with only one villager in the whole forest. She is a witch. As in those times, in these years, witches were regarded with fear, but not necessarily full on uh, burn on a stick. What do you call that? I forget.
Burning at the stake.
Burning at the stake.
Also, crushing and drowning were very popular.
Crushing and drowning, very popular. Okay, good to know. The more you know. So she's living out there. She sometimes comes into town, buys a couple of things from you, mainly food or some leatherwork, some woodwork, and she gives out in exchange neat poultices that help your wounded and cures for sicknesses.
Sounds
So,
like a sound economic arrangement.
okay, one day, just in the future, close to the 31st of October, a little girl's began to disappear. One by one. No one could find out where they went. Grief-stricken families searched the woods, the local buildings, and all the houses and the barns, but there was no sign of the missing girls. You have a girl yourself. She is significantly older than the ones that disappeared before, but still, you cannot stop a feeling of worry about the situation. You are at the village council. You are one of the people that has a seat in the village council. And the problem is presented. Everybody is silent. Nobody seems to have a solution, and most people do not want to point out the elephant in the room, as to put it.
Is there an actual elephant in the room? Just
No.
checking. Okay.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorical elephant.
So,
Well,
do you say anything? Do you speak out?
I begin to enact my long-laid plan to increase the amount of farmland and therefore the amount of mill or amount of wheat that gets ground at my mill. And I, townspeople, we all know that woods in general are bad. Woods are evil. Woods are just farmland waiting to happen. So I propose that we burn down the woods and turn it into farmland.
People start looking at you bewildered. Even though it's not a solution for the immediate problem, they seem to just look at you, and one of them says, "But the old crone lives there."
Yes, well, we will offer to build her a very nice cottage. But don't the woods really belong to all of us? Does one old crone have all the woods and we just have our little town? Does that seem fair to you?
Well,
No, no, it is not. It is certainly not fair.
Okay. Well, but what about our children? What about our little girls?
Yes, well, they're clearly not in the town. They couldn't have gone off on their own in a place we could not find them. So they must have gone into the woods. And searching the woods has produced no results. Perhaps if we burn the woods down, they will come running out.
They look at you a bit weary, but most of them seem to be meek and do not say anything. And he nods his head, this man, and says, "Well, it's the best idea we have, and it could help us."
Exactly. I'm a miller, and I have 5 intelligence, and this is the best idea you guys have. This town is pathetic. It won't even matter if the fire spreads through the fields and ends up burning the town down.
Do you actually say this, or this is just...
No, no, of course not. I just think it quietly to myself while I cackle. Mwah, mwah.
Okay. Well, the village council seems to be agreed, and next day, tomorrow, you are going to burn down the woods.
Yes, it's all falling into place now.
In the night, you sweep at your house, I imagine.
Oh, yes.
Dreaming of the tomorrow's exploits.
Dreaming of larger mills and more wheat. Mwah.
In the night, you hear soft footsteps moving in front of your door, and then a door to the outside opening.
And I actually hear this. I wake up.
Yeah, you actually hear this and wake up.
Well, that seems very suspicious. I get up. I grab probably like I have a pitchfork or something. I imagine.
Okay.
Or do guns exist yet in this time period?
No guns.
Okay, so I grab a pitchfork, and I
What's
go
your
out the
name?
front door.
What's your name? Is your name Justin?
My name is let's see, what's a good name for someone whose last name is Miller? I'm not going to make the obvious joke of having my first name be Bud.
Okay, so what's your name?
Let's say Lando. Lando Miller.
You hear a shriek, Lando! Lando! And you recognize that that voice to be your wife's, but it seems scared. It seems shrieking, as if she's making an effort while screaming at the same time.
Okay.
What do you do?
Well, I run out the front door. Or
You
Yeah.
run out the front door, and you see your daughter in her night dress, just moving. She's in the middle of the river that's past your house, and your wife is trying to drag her back, but it seems like your wife is not impeding her at all. And what's your daughter's name?
Tesla.
Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your daughter, your Tesla, is just walking towards the woods as if enchanted by something, as if following something.
I quickly grab some rope, and I make a loop in it, and I toss the loop to my wife, and I say, "Tie it around her."
Yeah, she's already on the other side of the. She says, "Yeah, yes," and she goes around and starts tying it around her. Eventually managing to tie it around her, but she is still moving.
I start pulling on the rope after it's secured. Can I start yanking my daughter back towards the?
You can try. You can give me a strength check.
Okay. Just straight strength.
Yes.
17.
Okay, you manage to stop your daughter from moving in front, but you are putting in considerable effort into making her not move. It seems like the strength she's pulling is way bigger than her normal strength.
I yell at the top of my lungs, "Someone get me a donkey or a horse!"
Your yells start waking people up from the village, and they scramble out, half dressed, some even rubbing their eyes, and what's happening? What is this?
Is my wife still standing like next to my daughter on the other side, trying to like hold her back?
She's trying to push her back. Yeah.
Kick her in the back of the knee. She won't be able to walk.
She's like, I can't do that. It's our daughter.
She won't be our daughter for long if you don't kick her in the back of the knee. Don't be a useless woman.
She just shakes her head and starts continuing on pushing. She does not want to kick her in the.
I have to do everything myself. Has anyone brought me a horse yet?
Somebody has brought you a donkey after a couple of minutes. You have been dragged, right? You can see the feet on the ground as you have been dragged to the edge of the river.
I tie the rope around the donkey, and then smack the donkey on the ass. Pull! Pull!
You smack the donkey on the ass, and it starts pulling, and back goes your daughter, considerably hard.
Excellent. My plans always work in the end.
Your plan. Oh, and my camera just did not work in the end. Okay. I hope the sound makes me as loud as Justin. It was a bit away from the microphone. Okay, so you pull your daughter back, and as she's pulled back through the river and so on, she seems to be sleeping.
Typical woman. Sleeps through everything. I'm very disappointed in you. Very disappointed in you, Tesla.
Okay.
I take her back into my house, and I tie her to her bed.
You tie her to her bed.
Mm-hmm. And as I'm looking at her tied to the bed, I realize, this is a solution. And I go to the other townspeople. I wake them all up and I'll be like, just tie your daughters to your bed and it'll all be fine.
They look at you incredulously, and they'll say,
Look, it worked for me!
our doors were locked. Surely they couldn't have gotten past locked doors. I mean, what happened? They wouldn't just run away.
It appears to be some sort of hypnosis or enchantment where they actually voluntarily walk off into the woods.
Witchery! Witchery, we need to go! We need to recover our daughters! They might be in danger.
Well, yes, well, time enough for that in the morning. You remember, the plan, the burning down of the woods.
We can go, confront the crone, and burn down the woods tonight. And people are starting to cheer for him. Burn the crone! Burn the witch! Burn the witch!
Excellent! My plans are proceeding 12 hours earlier than expected.
A mob starts gathering, and somebody brings you somebody. Sorry, actually, my previous statement of guns not existing is completely false. There are guns.
Oh, even better.
I have meta. Somebody brings you a shotgun and tells you silver bullets inside for the witch if he tries anything.
Yes, well. Excellent. I take the shotgun, and I unload the silver bullets and put them in my pocket so that I have silver, because I'm apparently a very greedy person. And I load it up with perfectly normal bullets that I'm sure will be just fine.
Okay, so you start walking towards the forest, and it's a picture like just regular old any generic mob with a lot of pitchforks and torches and shouting and axes and angry people half dressed. And you walk into the
Sounds like
woods
the party.
You eventually reach the hill where the old crone lives, and you see the old crone there with a wand in hand pointed at your house.
Clear my throat. There she is! Burn the witch! Burn her!
She screams, shrieks out of her lungs, and says, "1 second. If you burn me, I will kill your daughter, Mirror."
Yes, well,
Okay,
I find that somewhat unlikely.
So, dude, the mob is waiting behind you. They don't act yet. What do you do?
What are you waiting for? Burn her! Burn the witch! And the woods. Don't forget to burn the woods too.
Burn the woods! Burn the witch! And they start just jumping at her, trying to tie her and tie her around. Her hand slaps around the people. Basically, a very big farmer is just knocked unconscious from a backhand across the face from this old crone that seems as skinny as she is old. Though,
if you want something done
weird,
right, you have to do it yourself.
Something weird, you see something weird about her. As you look at her, it seems like, from memory, from when you've seen her before, she looks younger. She looks significantly younger than before when she came around and to buy a surprise from your house.
Like, attractive?
Like, no, not like from an 18-year-old to a 60-year-old.
Oh, interesting. Well, I shoot her.
You call your double-barreled shotgun and you shoot her. And it seems like she partly goes down on one knee and the people start battering her up. But then she starts lashing out with her hands again. It doesn't seem like the bullets had much of an effect, but that just then slow her down.
Has anyone managed to set her clothes on fire with a torch yet?
Nobody has managed to set her clothes on fire with the torches. She is evasive as a wizard. She just moves through them. It seems supernatural.
Stick her with your torches! Burn her! Burn her!
They continue on doing that, but more and more of the villagers get backhanded, get knocked unconscious. Fewer and fewer people are still in that circle. More and more start to run away, screaming, "Witchery! Sorcery!"
I reload my gun with the only bullets I have available to me, which are the silver bullets, and I'm like, ah, this is costing me more than I wanted it to. And I shoot her again.
You shoot her again, and she shrieks and seems to be paralyzed on the ground. The remaining villagers tie her up and tie her to a just a tree nearby, starting to haste to her.
Good! Burn her! Burn the witch! About time.
She starts. Ah!
And someone shove a gag in her mouth! Christ! Haven't you ever burned someone alive before? You've got to keep them quiet or it's just the end of things. Ugh.
As she screamed, Mary screamed a curse on the villagers. If anyone mentioned her name aloud before a mirror, she would send her spirit to revenge herself for her terrible death. When she was dead, the villagers went to the house in the wood and found the unmarked graves of the little girls the evil witch has murdered. She had used their blood to make herself young again. From that day onward, anyone foolish enough to chant Bloody Mary's name 3 times before a darkened mirror would summon a vengeful spirit of the witch. It is said that she would tear their bodies to pieces and rip their souls from the mutilated bodies. The souls of these unfortunate ones once shall burn in torment as Bloody Mary once was burned, but they would be trapped forever in the mirror. And do you want to give us a small backstory of what happened with the mirror after this?
Yes, well, the miller burned down the woods, and the farmlands expanded greatly, and he became very wealthy and lived happily ever after.
Okay, good.
Mwah. Mwah.
So, do you want to continue on with with another story for our wonderful holiday, or do you want to try one on me? It is thy choice, storyteller.
Let's see what chat thinks, actually. Hey, chat, do you want me to do a story for Chucky, or do you want Chucky to do another story for me?
Chat. The decision is in your hands.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Okay.
I wish this would load. Have you ever played Amnesia: The Dark Descent?
Yes.
Someone made a
never finished it,
soundboard for it.
Yeah,
And it's
well, I
not
guess so.
loading,
It's,
and I
it's
really
a
wish it
pretty
would.
popular. Okay, so let's see what people are interested in seeing. Besides that, what do you think about the story?
I actually
a
didn't know the origin story of
short
Bloody
horror
Mary. Is that the
story.
actual origin story of Bloody Mary?
It is the American folklore story of it. I'm actually not sure it's the original story or not. It's just a very good story I found out. Retold by S.E. Chaucer. Excerpted from Spooky Pennsylvania. I'm not sure it's the original one, but whichever it is, it's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice story. It's way different than the one that it's out there. It has the basic ideas are similar, but it's a bit different from what you just did.
Okay. Well, I
this
imagine it
chat-
was very different from what I just did.
Okay. Seems like the only
wanna switch.
one in chat who's yeah, they want to switch.
All
Just
right.
then. Come on. Do one for me.
Okay, I got something. So you need to roll your stats.
Okay, let's do it. Let's stop the terror music for a bit and then start it up when it's appropriate.
Actually, there's 2 people in the story. It's a girl and a guy.
It seems like I'm a pretty intelligent guy, charismatic, strength, very, very, very powerful as well. I'm not that sturdy though. I'm not that sturdy. My constitution is not that good. So you said two people.
Kind of want to
in the
make you a
story?
girl.
Okay.
I had two
am
stories
a,
in mind. I think I'm gonna do the other
I'm
one. So
an
you're a girl.
Amazonian. I'm an Amazonian. Yes,
You're an Amazonian girl.
I am an Amazonian girl. My hands, like my muscles. Sorry, my crossbow bolt moved, dislodged my head a bit. My hands are as big as men's feet. But I'm pretty charismatic.
Awesome. So you're a say you're you're an 18-year-old college co-ed
Okay.
who's driving herself to college in it's a good mountainous state.
That is completely.
Lots of twistiness. Let's say Virginia. And it's raining really hard, and you stop at a diner. Get a bite to eat, and it's coming on towards dusk. But you decide to push through the night.
I wanna see that. I wanna say that I'm eating steak. That's why I eat. So I just eat
Awesome.
steak. That's like it's steak with something. Steak with eggs in the morning. Steak with beans for breakfast. Steak with pasta for dinner. It's always steak.
And you see, and your waiter at the diner is kind of cute. Maybe he flirts with you a little bit. Do you flirt back?
Yeah, why not? It's been some time to have some action, and I do enjoy being on top.
All right. And pay your bill, and you leave. You just drive out, try and finish your trip.
So no follow up on the footing.
No, it's it was just his job, and he was working, and passing the time. Pretty girl comes in. Of course, he's gonna flirt with her.
Okay, good. Sounds good.
But he doesn't think he has a chance with you. I mean, you're college bound.
I'm college bound. Good. I got it. I completely got it.
And he works at some greasy spoon diner. So.
Yeah, he would probably not even be the man for me. I need a strong man to handle me. As this, I could just tie him to a bed and do whatever. No.
Is your character a dominatrix?
Yes, she is a dominatrix.
Okay, this guy's a
against the
wimp.
story somehow?
So you're
This
correct.
guy's
He's
a
not
wimp.
strong enough for you.
No, I would probably break his pelvis. The snooze new reference. Okay, go on.
Yeah. So do you drive off?
I drive off, yes. I continue on my journey towards college, I think.
Yeah. So as you're like starting up the car and driving out of the driveway, roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Determine what you see.
Let's see, I have a 12 in wisdom, so that's a 1d20 plus 1. 16. Okay, that's pretty good.
All right. So you clearly see the. Let me roll this actually. Sure, I'm gonna roll it. You can't see it. Okay. So you clearly see the waiter you're flirting with as you're pulling out of the driveway. He seems like he's running, and he runs like to his car, and he looks at you, and then he gets in his car, and he starts it up.
Okay. That's freaking me out a bit, but you know what?
And he looks
The
like he has
wimp I
a
saw.
sort of a desperate look on his face.
Yeah, the wimp I saw is like he's probably scared he left the lid open on the toothbrush and on the toothpaste at home, and his mother is gonna beat him with a belt. I don't really care that much, so I continue on. I look around, maybe like I'm interested in where his car is going, but nah, I'm not really scared.
So if you wait at all, it ends up that his car is like coming right after yours.
Interesting. Okay. So this guy's weird, and you know what? If he wants it, I mean, I can definitely see what's going on. So you know what? Because my character is kind of a badass. You know, I mean, she thinks herself a badass. So you know what she's gonna do?
What?
She is gonna T-block the road. You know, with a car, like stop like this.
Uh-huh.
And do
All
I
right.
have a bat in my car?
Let's say you have a tire iron.
A tire iron. Even better. I get the tire iron and I get out with my muscles pumping. I just stomp towards his window.
Well, he drives up to you and he gets out in a panic and he's like, "Baxi, this is a." And
He
let's
said
see, he
backseat.
rolls.
Gone.
Yeah, and he's pointing at your back seat, and he doesn't pass out. He passes his con save.
Okay. I look back at my backseat, but I take a couple of steps back from him. This guy is suspicious.
And out of your back seat there erupts an enormous man who is somehow hiding, like underneath all of the stuff you've had packed for college, and he has a hook for one hand, and he jumps at you and tries to slash you with his hook.
So as I see the big man, I say, "Oh, this is a man that can handle me," and I battle at him with my. Though I am trying to knock him unconscious. I'm not trying to kill him.
Okay, you're doing non-lethal damage to the murderer. Good, got
Non-lethal damage. Yes.
it. Do we need? Do we,
You know
I should
you know
roll
what it
initiative.
goes. Yeah, you know what how this goes. It's he wants to be the rapist. You know, so this is like he wants to be the cat. I want to be the mouse. I'm turning this around. I'm gonna be the rapist. He's gonna be the mouse.
Okay.
Okay, good. Do you want to roll initiative on that?
Yeah, he has one. He has a +1 dex modifier, so he has 14.
She has a -1, but she has a 17.
Okay, so she gets to go first.
She gets to go first. She rolls with all her mighty Amazonian snoo strength and rolls a 12 against AC.
And that's a hit because he only has 11.
Okay, good. And what's the damage for a tire iron, you'd say?
I've been hit by a tire, and I'd say it's like a 1d6 at least.
Okay. I do 5 points of damage to the rapist, soon to be victim.
So wait, I didn't roll his HP actually. So he's a big guy. I guess he could have a D8, and he has no con modifier. So he has exactly
So he
the
has
HP.
8.
So
Okay,
he's down to
good,
3.
good.
And he's like, ugh! Oh, I like him a little feisty.
And he smile. I smile at him and say, "I do."
All right. He does have +3 strength though. So
I
1d20.
have +3 strength as well. I feel the matchmaking.
He rolls a 5 to hit. That's gonna miss.
Yeah. Well, let me roll my HP, by the way. Do you want a 1d6 or 1d8 for me? What do you think?
I think 1d6 is a little more reasonable.
Okay.
Somehow, I don't know. That makes sense to me.
5. No con modifier.
Okay.
So I say to him, well, this is interesting. Let's see how the night progresses. And I smack at his feet with a tire iron for 22.
And
so
it doesn't matter what you roll for damage because he's dead.
Yeah,
Or
not dead.
He's knocked out.
She's knocked
He's
out.
knocked out.
I look at the guy, the wimpy guy, and I say, thanks for that. I owe you one.
He just and he was college girls
worry.
are really scary.
I smile at him and pat
Now
on
I
his
know my
back.
mom never wanted me to go to college. It all makes sense. And he gets
Oh.
back in his store. He gets back in his car and just like drives away, now equally scared of you and the large man.
So what happens is that I tie this guy up. I tie his feet up. I tie his hands up, and I put scotch tape on his mouth. And then
Okay.
I tie him around. So this is a guy that's pretty strong, right? I saw how strong he was. So
Mhm.
I'm not gonna take any. So I tie his hands and around him as well, around
Right.
his body. Okay,
I'd make
good.
you roll
I
a check
put
for
him.
that, but I think we established earlier that you're a dominatrix, so we'll assume that you're not tying is fine.
Good. I put him in the back seat, and I go up to college. I continue on my journey. How many hours do I have until college?
You have about 2.5 hours till you get to college, and it's 3 hours until he wakes up.
Okay, good. I drive to college. I pick his body up and I start dragging him to my room. If somebody asks, it's just my boyfriend who passed out drunk.
One person asks you, what's with all the rope?
Oh, well, you definitely don't know me then.
His eyes go wide, and he's like, okay. And he just backs away from you slowly.
I smile at him in a manner to make him run, not back away.
He takes off. This is a
Okay.
terrifying experience for him. He doesn't understand what's going on. His worldview
Open
has
the
been
door.
shattered. He's
Do I
reevaluating everything.
have? Do I have a partner in my dorm?
You do, but she's not there yet.
Okay, good. I put a guy down. I tie him to a chair. I take a sock. I put it on the door, on the outer side of the door. And
Okay.
I search around for my small bottle of Viagra.
Not even gonna ask. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna force them down his throat.
How many?
Uh, two, just two at the first. Let's start easy.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, I wait
Well,
for parts of him to wake up.
so Viagra takes about an hour. Um, the newer pills take less time, but the Viagra takes about an hour. So he actually wakes up before anything else does.
Okay, good. And I look at him with a smile on my face, and I say, well, the night is turning spoils I did not expect.
His eyes go wide, and he's sweating. He like tries his bonds. He can't he can't get free. Is he still gagged?
He is still gagged, yes. I will put a finger on his, on like this. And I, shh, my little pet, shh. And I go bring out my whip. Just show it to him so he knows it's there. Well, I'm a
He like
dominatrix. I'm imagining I have a whip.
Yeah, that's fine. He goes red in the face. He starts like struggling. He's like bouncing up and down, trying to like break the chair.
Okay, so what I do is I just ram my hand into his neck, and I say, "No, I do not like my pets to be feisty, when I intend to play with them. Act nice, and I won't break many bones."
Well, he stops moving.
And I'm guessing something else starts moving upwards.
Yeah, a little bit. Roll a What'd you do with his hook?
Oh, he still
'Cause
has the hook.
he had a hook for a hand.
I mean, I didn't mention it, so he still has it.
Okay. So roll a perception check.
Oh, I'm keep going for my own dice. So what was my wisdom? That's +1. 9.
Okay, so you don't hear anything.
No. Okay. I ungag him. And I just take a couple of steps back. And I start unrobing. I have like, I unbutton my vest. I take down my pants and so on. Actually, I think I would have a skirt. I think I would have a skirt. So I unbutton my skirt at the back.
Okay.
And I look at him and I say, "What now?" He can speak if he wants to.
He's been sawing away at the ropes with his hook. So
Okay.
the ropes on his hands are loose, and he suddenly can stand up out of the chair, and he tries to jump out the window, but his feet are still attached to the chair. So he tries to like do a standing 2-footed jump straight out the window to get away from you.
Oh, oh, oh. Bad way to Peter. I'm gonna call you
That-
Peter. I'm
That's
gonna. Yeah.
and he fails. He like gets part way and gets stuck on the windowsill, and the chair does not break, so it's like stuck against the window, sort of preventing him from getting all the way out. And he starts screaming out into the courtyard or whatever the outside of the door. Yeah,
And
it's a
I
courtyard.
with my whip at him. I'm guessing I'll auto hit. That will knock him unconscious.
Yeah, that pretty much.
And
Roll a perception check for the RA. That's it. The RA doesn't hear anything. She's just, or she doesn't hear anything. She assumes it's like party noise. It's fine.
Okay. And I gag him again. I take out his hook for a hand. And
It's
I
like
tie him
attached
up
with like some
again.
leather straps, so you just like undo the straps and it pops off.
I tie him up again, and unless something else happens, I'm basically just gonna feed him Viagra and use him as a sex toy until he dries up and dies away. At
Okay.
which point I'm gonna just dump his
that wouldn't take
body
that
in
long.
the forest.
Because if you're constantly feeding him Viagra, he has an erection for longer than 4 hours, and eventually it causes him to just die,
Okay, does he say anything?
which is
in
a real
the-
side effect of Viagra. Do you ever ungag him?
I mean, at a certain point, I gag him, and if he screams, I just put my very big Amazonian hand on his face.
He's not so much screaming as gibbering in pain. He's like, it hurts, help me, help me. Ah.
Okay, so I think that's gonna be it for little old Peter over here. Now, that went very off the rails.
That went very off the rails.
Do you want to tell Chad the real story?
So the real story is that the guy freaks out the girl. The girl like keeps driving away from the guy 'cause she's afraid, and he pulls up to her and tries to get in front of her to stop her, and she like keeps driving because she's freaked out by this guy, and finally the guy catches up to her and like yells out the window, and she finally manages to hear, "Check your back seat!" And she turns around and she gets murdered by a guy with a hook.
Okay.
So the guy
this
saw
version-
the murderer in the back seat, and she just didn't notice, and he was like trying to save her this whole time, and she just died.
Yeah, and in this situation right here, because of stats, perfect example of derailing, complete and utter derailing.
And that's the best thing about pinball storytellers,
It
guys.
is
That's the
completely
best
random.
thing. You never know. Chucky could be a dominatrix. You just never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it happened. Yuya, that's her name. Yuya is a dominatrix, and she is a Amazonian snowstorm priestess as well. That's her like online tag as well. Amazonian snowstorm priestess 69. Okay, just joking around. So we have still maybe a couple 10-15 more minutes in our Halloween special. Do you want to do an additional story?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna take you into just any normal state. You are out with your boyfriend in the car, and 1 second. Your name is Susan. You can roll your stats if you want to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, that's pretty
Wow.
average on the board.
Yeah, I am an
So-
average person.
Susan and Med are driving through a wooden empty section of the highway. Lightning flashed and thunder roared, and the sky went dark in torrential downpour. At a certain point, do you want to say anything or do anything?
I'm just in a car with my boyfriend.
Yes, you're just
What's my
driving.
boyfriend's
Your boyfriend's name is Ned.
Ned?
Ned, yes.
uh, I want to make a joke about how he's so cute with his head attached. And it's a Game of Thrones joke, but I feel like on Halloween it might turn out to be like some sort of portent.
He smiles at you. You and your geeky shows.
I like lean over and whisper in his ear. Winter is coming. Keep me warm.
He smiles and puts a hand on you, and as that happens,
Oh, does he?
yes, the car stops into a runt, and the wheel seems to have gotten stuck.
What's the matter, big boy? Can't drive and touch your girlfriend at the same time? I pat
This
my eyes at him.
wooded section is very. He looks up and down at you again with some thoughts that you are well aware of in his mind, and he says, "Well, very badly built. I'm gonna go outside and see what's the situation.
Oh no, don't go outside. Stay in here and keep me warm.
We don't have a lot of gas left, and we're well away from. I don't think anybody will be using this part of highway for some time."
Ooh, so we're alone and we're gonna be alone for a while? How perfect.
He smiles at you. Says, "Well, I think we have enough oil for maybe a couple of hours. Who knows?
Good.
Maybe somebody would
I
drive
like
up."
physically grab him and try and drag him into the back seat.
Okay, so I don't think we need to roleplay that.
Well, it depends on if he
Happens
resists or not.
when- He does not resist. He is taken. He is just completely and utterly in accord with your ideas.
Alright, I
Okay.
drag him into the back seat.
After a couple of after a couple of minutes, after you doing this, and very good. Almost like after you finish and everything, you get a rest, and you.
That only took a
there's
couple of minutes. That's very disappointing.
Well, let's see how much it takes. Let me actually roll it. No, sorry. It actually takes half an hour.
Okay, that's better.
He rolled the 20. It actually takes half an hour. Okay, so after half an hour, you guys finish. No, he gets his boxers back on, and there's a light outside, and a megaphone voice saying, "Please step out of the car." And he says, "Oh, damn it! Oh, I better step out. You stay in here. I get dressed real fast. Maybe he can drag us out."
Okay. Well, I was gonna say she passes out, but she passed her con save. So she's like, okay. I'll just stay here.
Okay. He gets outside and moves. Okay, good. Do you roll me a perception check?
Sure. My wisdom was... So I have -1, actually. 3.
Okay, so you don't hear or see anything particular. But then you hear another another scream, another megaphone voice saying, "Ma'am, please step out of the car."
Well, I get out of the car. It's clearly some sort of police officer.
Okay, and as you get out, you are actually in front of the sign that says Axe Murder Hollow. Although
Well, that's just an odd name.
although Ned hadn't said the name out, you both knew you were close to it, maybe even here. Supposedly, this place where was a man who had once taken an axe and hacked his wife to death in a jealous rage over an alleged affair. Supposedly, the axe-wielding spirit of the husband continued to haunt this section of the road. Your bones are chilled. not only
Maybe
from
that's
the
why I
rain.
was so worked up. True
Outside the
story.
car.
There's a statistical correlation between girls being horny and girls watching horror movies. So you're thinking like about horror stories.
Yes, that happens. That I can say yes to that. I can agree with that. Outside the car, Susan hears a shriek, and a loud thump, and a strange gurgling noise. But you can't see anything in the darkness. There's only the light to your left, and the light getting
Ned,
closer.
Ned.
The light gets in front of your car, and the man puts the light down, drops it on the hood of the car. You see the car just brightly illuminated by this bright light, and his face is illuminated as well. And behind him, as the light is reflected, you see hanging from the nearest tree the dead body of Ned. His bloody throat had been cut so deeply that he was nearly decapitated. The wind swung his corpse back and forth so that it thumped against the tree. Bump, bump, bump. Praying around my back. You hear a thump noise as metal strikes stone. It's like. You've been very naughty. A man with a smile on his face and a large sword, definitely a real axe in his hands. His beard is long, and his face is scarred by a scar on his left eye. His one eye is completely white, and the other is black. What do you do?
Look, Jim. I'm an independent woman, and I never said we were exclusive.
He stops in front of you and says,
No buts. I never said we were exclusive. You can't just go around murdering every guy that I have sex with when you're not my boyfriend. We don't have that kind of relationship. You need to stop doing this.
He looks down and says, okay, but I have tea and cookies in the cabin.
Oh,
join?
you know I love tea and cookies. Come on, let's go.
Oh, okay, let's take his car. Looks pretty nice. You got a which one this time? He smiles at you, gets in the front seat, starts up the car, and drives up to the cabin where he has cookie and tea for you. And you spend a romantic evening on the 31st of October. Okay, that was I think the last story in Pinball Storytellers Halloween special. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was pretty fun for me, and I think it was pretty fun.
Oh,
for
I think
Justin.
I think at least half the people in those stories had fun.
Yes, half the people in the stories had fun. Everything was completely derailed. Maybe not really the first story. Maybe not really the first story.
I don't know. I think I derailed that story pretty good.
Yeah.
At a minimum, it ended up being very different. I don't
Not
actually know. I don't actually know the details of the original story, so I can't say for sure.
I sent you the whole thing.
I'm pretty
The
sure there
only
wasn't a
thing different
Machiavellian
was-
Miller.
No, there wasn't. Okay, so that was the stories that we had prepared for Pinball Storytellers. To be honest, guys, at first we did not have a lot of time to prep, and it was really just a one-off idea from the Twitch Storytellers Talk to Twitch chat in the previous episode.
We had a really good idea for this that we didn't have enough time to really prep it.
Yeah.
That we're not going to tell you what it is because I think we're actually going to want to do it next year if this is still going on. But I will say that it involves playing instead of playing D&D system, it's going to involve playing Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You might even
1
see
year from now,
Call of Cthulhu
hype.
in the future, but we'll see. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this. And do you want to say anything, Justin, before we finish this off?
No, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you like, Chucky and me like playing D&D and doing this, we also have a campaign on Saturday and Sunday that we're both a part of. Chucky's the DM for both of them. Horde of the Dragon Queen and Honorbound Redemption of the New Guard over on Koibu's channel. Also, I stream on Twitch 5 days a week from 1 to 5 p.m. PST. I usually play the Hearthstone or Final Fantasy Tactics. And you can check me out at twitch.tv/CavalierGuest. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Yeah. Just one specification: Horde of the Dragon Queen is actually played here.
Yes.
And that's gonna be tomorrow at the same time this started, actually. And the same time this started is gonna be Sunday on around. Well, that's about it. I actually think I'm gonna be streaming as well after this. So both of us are gonna be streaming after this. I really into World of the Fallen. I want to continue on World of the Fallen. It's a pretty neat game. But before that, we're gonna do Storytellers talk to Twitch a bit. And one spoiler, guys. Okay, so I need to say this. I have tricked you this whole session. I have deceived you deeply, and I'm very sorry about that. I don't actually have a crossbow bolt in my head. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna put up the title screen for a couple of minutes, and then we'll do Storytellers talk to Twitch. So get your whatever questions you have ready, or whatever you would like to see next session. And I'm gonna be sure to write them down, and we're gonna take them into considerations. Besides stories or myths and legends, you can feel free to propose systems as well. Okay, so we're gonna see you in a half a minute or a minute, something of the sort. Bye bye.